minute?
Fine, I see. What's all that? Is my spendthrift in making money fly again?
Why, Torvald, surely we can afford to launch out a little now.
We can't afford to squander money.
Oh, yes, Torvald, do let us squander. Just a little bit, just a little bit. You know you'll soon be earning heaps of money.
From New Year's Day, there's a whole quarter yet before my first salary is due.
Never mind. We can borrow in the meantime.
Alright. Still my little feather brain. Supposing I borrowed £1,000 today, you made ducks and drapes of it, and then on New Year's Eve, a tile blew off the roof and knocked my brains out.
Hutch, how can you talk so horribly?
But supposing it were to happen?
Well, if anything so dreadful happened, it would be all the same to me whether I was in debt or not.
But what about the creditors?
They? Who cares for them? They're only strangers.
Nora, what a woman you are. But seriously, Nora, you know my principles on these points. No debts and no borrowing. Home life ceases to be free and beautiful when it's founded on borrowing and debt. Now, me and you, we've come this far. And we're not going to give up now, are we?
Very well, as you please, Torvald.
Come. My little lark shouldn't droop her wings like that. What? Is the squirrel in the salt? Nora, what do you think I have here?
Money.
There. Of course.
50, 100, 150, 200. Oh, thank you, Torvald. This will go a long way.
I should hope so.
Yes, indeed, a long way.
Now tell me, what's in some parcel?
Oh, no, you're not to see that until this evening.
Aha. I ain't not spendthrift. Tell me, have you bought something for yourself?
For myself?
Yes.
Oh, I don't want anything.
Nonsense. Just tell me something sensible that you'd like to have.
No, really, I don't know of anything. Well, listen.
Yeah.
If you really want to give me something, you might.
Well, out with it.
Well, you might give me money, only just what you think you can spare, and then I can buy something with it later on.
But Nora.
Oh, please do, dear Torvald, please do.
What they call the birds are always making the money fly.
Yes, I know, of course, spendthrift, but please do as I ask. And then I can think what I want most. Isn't that very sensible now?
Certainly, that is to say, if you really kept all the money I gave you, and really spent it on something for yourself, it all goes on housekeeping and all manner of useless things, and then I have to pay up again.
But, Torvald...
Can you deny it, Nora dear? It's a sweet little lark, but it gets you an awful lot of money. No one would believe what it costs a man to keep such a little bird as you.
For shame. But how can you say so? Why, I save as much as ever I can.
As much as you can, yes, and that is, well, precisely nothing.
If you only knew, Torvald, what expenses we larks and squirrels have.
You're a strange little being, just like your father, always on the lookout for as much money as you can lay your hands on. But the moment you get it, it seems to, well, slip through your fingers, and you never know what becomes of it. Well, one must really take you as you are. It's in the blood. Yes, Nora dear. This sort of thing is hereditary.
I wish I had inherited many of Papa's qualities.
And I don't wish you to be anything but what you are. My own sweet little songbird. But it does strike me, you look so... how can I say? Suspicious today.
Do I?
You do indeed. Now, look people in the face.
Well?
Have you a little sweet tooth? Been playing pranks today?
No. How can you think such a thing?
Hasn't she just looked in at the confectioners?
No, Torvald, really?
Not a silly little jelly?
No, certainly not.
Hasn't she even nibbled on a macaroon or two?
No, Torvald, indeed.
Well. Of course, I'm only joking.
I shouldn't think of doing what you disapprove of.
I should hope not, besides you gave me your word. Now, keep a little secrets to yourself, Nora dear.
Have you remembered to invite Dr. Wright to the party?
Oh, it's not necessary. It's in my study now, I don't know. I brought some capital wine. Nora, you can't think I'm looking forward to the party.
Oh, and I too.
Isn't it glorious to feel that one has a secure position and ample means? Isn't it delightful to think of?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Do you remember last year? For 3 whole weeks beforehand, you shut yourself away every evening till long past midnight to organise this event and all sorts of other marvels that were to astonish us. I've never been so bored in my life.
I didn't bore myself at all.
But it came to enough in the end, didn't it?
Oh, are you going to tease me about that again? How could I help the cat getting in and pulling it all to pieces?
Indeed you couldn't, my poor little Nora. You did your best, it was your pleasure, that's the main point, but all the same. Isn't it a good thing the hard times are over?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Now, I needn't sit here, boring myself all alone, and you needn't tie your blessed eyes and your delicate little fingers.
No, I needn't. Need I, Torvald? Oh, and I'll tell you how I think we ought to manage. As soon as the year is over, we shall... there's a ring.
Right. I'm going to help you. Remember that.
Madam, a lady here to see you?
I'm sure.
Does the doctor need anything?
No, dear Anne, I think he's quite all right. Hello, Nora. How do you do? How do you do? I see you don't recognize me. No, I don't think. Oh, yes. I believe Christina. Is it really you?
Yes, it really is I.
Oh, Christina, I didn't think I didn't know you, but how could I? How changed you are, Christina.
Oh yes, but it has been, what, 9 or 10 years since we were in art school together.
Is it really so long since we met? Oh, yes, so it is. Oh, I can tell you, the last 8 years I've been a happy time. I know you've come to town. All this long journey.
Yes, I came by this morning's first train.
Oh, how delightful. Oh, what, you're frozen? Anna, will you fetch some tea, please? And leave the yellow bag here.
Of course, madam.
Oh, yes. I can see that your old face again. It was only at the first glance. But you look tired, Christina. And perhaps a little thinner?
And much older. Nora, dear.
Perhaps a little older. Not much. Ever so little. Oh, what a thoughtless wretch I am. Oh, dear Christina, can you forgive me?
What for?
My poor Christina, I forgot. You are a widow.
Yes, my husband died 3 years ago.
I know. I saw it in the papers. Oh, believe me, Christina, I didn't mean to write to you, but I kept putting it off, and something always came in the way.
That's quite all right, Nora. I can quite understand.
No, it was really too hard of me. My poor Christina, how much must I have gone through? And he left you with nothing?
Nothing.
No children?
None.
Nothing at all?
Not a sorrow or longing to dwell upon.
But my dear Christina, how is that possible?
Oh, so it happens sometimes, Nora.
So utterly alone? Oh, how dreadful that must be. I have 3 of the loveliest children. I can't show them to you now. They're staying away with their grandparents. Would you like to help me with this? Like in the good old days? Can I read? Of course. Here. And now, you must tell me everything.
No, I want you to tell me.
No, you must begin. I won't be egotistical today. Today I'll think only of you. But I must tell you one thing. Perhaps you've heard of our great stroke of fortune.
No, what is it?
Only think, my husband has been made manager of the Joint Stock Bank.
Your husband? Oh, that is so fortunate.
Yes, isn't it? A lawyer's position is so uncertain, you see, especially when he won't touch any business that's the least bit shady, as of course Torvald never would, and there I quite agree with him. Oh, you can imagine how glad we are. He is to enter on his new position at the new year, and then he'll have a large salary and percentages. In future, future, we shall be able to live quite differently. Just as we please, in fact. Oh, Christina, I feel so lighthearted and happy. It's delightful to have lots of money and no need to worry about things, isn't it?
Well, in any case, it's always delightful to have what you need.
No, not only what you need, but heaps of money. Heaps!
Nora, haven't you learnt your reason yet? You know, when we were in school together as girls, you were ever such a little spendthrift.
Yes, Torvald says I am still. But Nora is not so silly as you all think. And I haven't had much of a chance to be a spendthrift. We have both had to work.
But you too?
Yes, like fancy work, candle making, and handmade cards, and things of that sort, and other work too. Oh, you know, of course, that Torvald left the government service when we were first married. He had little chance of promotion, and of course, he required to make more money. But in the first year after our marriage, he overworked himself terribly. He had to undertake all sorts of extra work and to slave early and late. Oh, he couldn't stand it and fell dangerously ill. Then, the doctors declared he must go to the south.
Yes, you spent an entire year in Italy, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Oh, it wasn't easy to manage, I can tell you. It was just after my little one's birth, my oldest. But we had to go. Oh, it was a delicious journey. And it saved Torvald's life. But it cost a frightful lot of money, Christina.
So I should think.
£30,000, isn't that a lot of money?
Well, it's lucky you have the money to spend.
We got it from father, you must know.
Yes, your father died shortly after that, didn't he?
Yes, Christina, just then.
Where can I put this?
Wherever you please. Oh, and only think, I couldn't go and nurse him. I was expecting my little one's birth daily, and then I had my poor sick Torvald to attend to. Dear kind old father, I never saw him again, Christina. That's the hardest thing I've had to bear since my marriage.
I remember how fond you were of your father. But then you still went to Italy.
Yes, you see, we had the money, and the doctor said we must lose no time. We started a month later.
And your husband, he came back completely cured?
Sound as a bell.
But what about the doctor?
What do you mean?
Well, your maid, I heard her talking about the doctor.
Oh, yes, Dr. Rank, but he doesn't come professionally. He is our best friend, and never lets a day pass without looking in. No, Torvald hasn't had an hour's illness since that time. And the children are so healthy and well, and so am I, Christina. Oh, it's wonderful to live and to be happy. Oh, so horrid of me. Here I am, talking about nothing but my own concerns. Oh, don't be angry with me. Now, tell me, is it true that you didn't love your husband? What made you marry him then?
Well, my mother was very sick, bedridden, and I had my two little brothers to think of. I didn't think it was right to refuse him.
Perhaps it wouldn't have been. I suppose he was rich then?
Well, I suppose his business was uncertain. Fell to pieces at his dad, and there was nothing else left.
And then?
Well, then I had to fight my way into keeping a shop, a school, anything I could turn my hand to, really. Oh, Nora. The last 3 years have been one long struggle. But it's over now. My dear mother, she's at rest, she no longer needs me, and the boys, they're grown up, they're in business.
How free your life must feel.
No, only inexpressibly empty. It's why I couldn't bear to stay in that out-of-the-way corner anymore. Here, it must be easier to find something to take up one's thoughts, to find some office work, employment, perhaps.
But, Christina, that's such drudgery, and you look worn out already. Well, it would be ever so much better for you to go to some watering place and rest.
I have no father to give me money, Nora.
Oh, don't be vexed with me.
No, Nora. Please don't be vexed with me. The problem with someone in my situation is it makes one so bitter. I have no one to work for, and yet I must always be on the strain. I work, and then I feel so selfish. If only you would believe. When I had the great fortune in your life, I was more happy for myself than I was for you.
How do you mean?
Well,
Oh, yes. You think Torvald could perhaps do something for you?
I thought perhaps.
Well, then so he shall, Christina. Just leave it all to me. Oh, I shall lead up to it beautifully. I shall think of some delightful plan to put him in a really good humor. Oh, I should so love to help you.
Oh, thank you so much, Nora. Thank you. Doubly thanks to you. Someone who knows so little of sorrow and burden in your life.
I know so little of...
You're a child, Nora. A little fancy work here and there.
Oh, come, you mustn't be so patronizing.
No.
You're just like the rest. You all think I'm fit for nothing really serious. Well, you think I've had no troubles in this weary world?
Nora, you have just told me of all of your troubles.
These trifles? I haven't told you the great thing.
The great thing.
Pardon me, madam. Here's your tea.
Thank you, Anna.
So, we're going to bed.
I know you look down upon me, Christina, but you have the right to. You are proud to have worked so hard and so long for your mother.
I'm sure I don't look down upon anyone, but yes, I am both proud and glad when I remember that I was able to keep my mother's last few days free from care.
And you're proud to think of what you have done for your brothers, too.
Have I not the right to be?
Yes, indeed, Christina, but let me tell you, I, too, have something to be proud and glad of.
I don't doubt it, but what is it?
Not too loud. If only Torvald were to hear, he mustn't, not for worlds. Nobody must know about it, Christina. Nobody but you.
Why? Whatever could it be?
Well, come over here. I, too, have something to be proud and glad of. I saved Torvald's life.
Saved his life? How?
I told you about our going to Italy. Torvald would have died but for that.
Yes, your father gave you the money.
Yes, so Torvald and everyone believes, but,
But?
Papa didn't give us one penny. It was I that found the money.
You? All that money?
£30,000. What do you say to that?
When I say, however, did you manage it? Did you win the lottery?
The lottery? Anyone could have done that.
Then how did you manage it? Well, of course, you could not have borrowed the money.
No, why not?
Well, a housewife cannot borrow money without her husband's signature.
Oh, when the wife has some idea of business and knows how to set about things.
Nora, I don't understand.
Well, you needn't. I never said I borrowed the money. There are many ways I may have got it. I may have got it from some admirer. When one is so attractive as I am.
Nora, you are too silly.
I'm sure you're dying of curiosity, Christina.
Listen to me, Nora, haven't you been a little bit rash?
Is it rash to save one's husband's life?
What without his knowledge?
Yes. But it would have been fatal for him to know. Can't you understand that? He wasn't even to suspect how ill he was. The doctors came to me privately and told me that his life was in danger and that nothing could save him but a winter in the south. Do you think I didn't try diplomacy first? I told him how I longed to have a trip abroad like other young wives. I wept and prayed. I said to him that he ought to think of my condition and not to thwart me. And then I hinted that he could borrow the money. But, Christina, he got almost angry. He said that I was frivolous and that was his duty as a husband not to yield to my whims and fancies, as he called them. Very well, thought I, but saved you must be. And then I found a way to do it.
But Nora, did your husband husband never learned from your father that the money didn't go with him?
No, never. Papa died at that very time. I meant to have told him all about it and begged him to say nothing, but unhappily it wasn't necessary.
Have you never told your husband?
Good heavens! What can you be thinking of? Tell him when he has such a loathing of debt. And besides that, how painful and humiliating it would be for Torvald with his manly self-respect to know that he owed anything to me. It would utterly upset the relation between us. Our beautiful, happy home would never again be what it is.
We can never confess.
Yes, sometime, perhaps. Many, many years hence. When I'm not so pretty. Oh, you must not laugh at me. Of course, I mean when Torvald is not so much in love with me as he is now. When it doesn't amuse him any longer to see me dancing about and dressing up and acting. Now, Christina, what do you say to my grand secret? Am I fit for nothing now? Well, you may believe that it has cost me a lot of anxiety. It has been no joke to meet my engagements punctually. Well, there are things in business, Christina, called installments and quarterly interest that are terribly hard to provide for. So I've had to pinch a little here and there and everywhere I could. Well, I couldn't save much out of the housekeeping, for of course Torvald has to live well. And I couldn't let the children go about dressed badly. All I got for them, I spent on them, the blessed darlings.
So poor Nora, so all of this had to come out of your pocket money?
Well, yes, of course. Well, after all, the whole thing was my doing.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Well, besides that, I made money in other ways. Last winter, I was so lucky. I got a heap of transcribing to do. I shut myself up every evening and wrote far into the night. Sometimes I was so tired. So tired. And yet, it was splendid to work in that way and earn money. I almost felt as if I was a man.
And Nora, exactly how much were you able to pay off?
Well, I can't precisely say. It's difficult to keep that sort of business clear. I only know that I paid everything I could scrape together. Sometimes I didn't know where to turn. And then, I used to pretend that an old rich gentleman was in love with me.
Nora, what gentleman?
Oh, dear, can't you understand? There wasn't any old gentleman. It was only what I used to dream and dream when I was at my wit's end for money. But it doesn't matter now. For now, my troubles are over. Free from all anxiety. Free, quite free. To be able to play and romp about with the children. To have things pretty and tasteful, exactly as Torvald likes it. And then, soon the spring will be here with the great blue sky. And then perhaps we shall have a little holiday. Perhaps I shall see the sea again. Oh, it's wonderful to live and to be happy.
Well, look, there's the bell. Perhaps I have to go.
No, do stay. No one will come here. It's sure to be someone for Torvald.
Madam, if you please, there's a gentleman here for Mr. Helmer.
Who's the gentleman?
It is I, Mrs. Helmer.
You. What is it? What do you want with my husband?
Oh, bank business in a way. I hold a small place to the joint stock bank, and your husband is to be our new chief, I hear.
Then it is...
Only tiresome business, Mrs. Helmer. Nothing more.
Then will you please follow me to his study?
Nora, who was that gentleman?
Mr. Krogstad, the lawyer.
It really is he.
Do you know him?
Oh yes, I used to know him. A long time ago, he was a lawyer up Old Town.
Oh yes, so he was.
He has changed.
I believe his marriage was unhappy.
He's a widow,
With 2 children.
and his business is not the most creditor, I hear.
I dare say not, I don't know. But don't let us think of business, it's too tiresome.
Oh no, I'm in the way. I shall go and have a chat with your wife.
I beg your pardon. I'm in the way here too.
No, not in the least. Dr. Rank, Mrs. Linden.
Indeed. I've often heard Mrs. Linden's name. Have you come to town to find rest in a round of dissipation?
I came to seek employment.
Ah,
One must live, Dr. Rank.
that seems to be the general opinion.
Come, Dr. Rank, you want to live yourself.
Ah, to be sure, I do. However fresh I may be, I want to drag on as long as possible. All my patients, too, have the same mania. And it's the same with people whose complaint is moral. You know, at this very moment, Helmer is just talking to such a morally incurable.
Whom do you mean?
A fellow named Krogstad. A man you don't know nothing about, corrupt the very core of his character, and even he began by announcing as a matter of vast importance that he must leave.
Indeed. And what did you want with Torvald?
I haven't an idea. I only gathered that it was some bank business.
I didn't know that this Mr. Krogstad had anything to do with the bank.
Yeah, he's got some sort of place there. But, Mrs. Linden, I don't know whether in your part of the country you have people who go grabbing and sniffing around in search of moral roughness. And then, when they have found the case, don't rest until they've got their men in some good position where they can keep a watch upon them. Men with clear bill of health, they live out in the cold.
Well, I suppose that the most delicate characters require the most care.
And there we have it. It's that notion that makes society a hospital. Why do you laugh at that? Have you any idea what society is?
Oh, what do I care for your tiresome society? I was laughing at something else. Something excessively amusing. Tell me, Dr. Rank, are all the employees at the bank dependent on Torvald now?
So is this what strikes you as excessively amusing?
Never mind, never mind. Yes, it is funny to think that Torvald has so much power over so many people. Dr. Rank, will you have a macaroon?
What? A macaroon? I thought they were contraband.
Yes, but Christina brought me these.
What? No, I didn't bring those.
Oh, don't be frightened. You couldn't possibly know that Torvald had forbidden them. The fact is, he is afraid of me spoiling my teeth. But, just for once, bother. One for you, Christina, and one for you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll have one while we're about it. Only a tiny one, or at most 2. Oh, I'm really happy. There's only one thing I really want in the world.
And what's that?
There's something I should so love to say in Torvald's hearing.
Well, why don't you say?
Because I daren't. It's too ugly.
Ugly.
Well, in this case, you'd better not. But to us, you might. So what is it you would so like to say in Helmer's hearing?
I should so love to say, damn it all!
You're out of your mind.
Goodness gracious, Nora.
Well, say, there it is.
Well, Torvald dear, have you got rid of them?
Yes, at last.
Let me introduce you. This is Christina, who has come to town.
Ah, Christina, pardon me. I didn't know.
Mrs. Linden, Torvald dear, Christina Linden.
Indeed, an old school friend of my wife's, no doubt?
Yes, we went to school together as girls.
Oh, only think, she has taken this long journey on purpose to speak to you.
Well, no,
To-
not really.
To speak to me.
Well, you see, Christina is tremendously clever at office work, and she's so anxious to work under a first-rate man of business in order to earn still more.
Very sensible indeed.
And when she learned that you were appointed manager, it was in the paper, you know, she started off at once, and
No,
well, now, Torvald dear, for my sake, now you must do something for Christina. Now, can't you?
It's not impossible. I presume Miss Linden is a widow?
Yes.
And we'd have some experience in business.
Oh, a great deal.
Ah, well then, I may very well be able to find a place for you.
There now, there now.
You can be very fortunate moments.
However, can I thank
Well, there's
you?
no occasion, but for the present, you must excuse me.
I go with you, Helmer.
Don't be long, Torvald dear.
Now, no more.
Are you going to Christina?
Oh, yes, I must set about stuff for lodging.
Then perhaps we can go together.
What a pity we haven't a spare room for you, but it's impossible.
Oh, no, I wouldn't want to be offended, but Nora, thank you for all that you've done today. Thank you.
Goodbye for the present, and of course you'll come back this evening. And you too, Dr. Rank.
I will, I promise.
Please.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Helmer.
What do you want?
Excuse me, the outer door was ajar. Somebody must have forgotten to shut it.
My husband is not at home, Mr. Krogstad.
Oh, I know it.
Then what do you want here?
To say a few words to you.
To me?
Yes, to you.
Today?
It will depend upon yourself whether you have a Merry New Year.
What do you want? I'm not ready today.
Never mind that just now. I've come about another matter. You have a minute to spare?
Yes, I
Good.
suppose.
I was sitting in the restaurant opposite, and I saw your husband walking down the street
Well,
with a lady.
what then?
May I ask if the lady was a Mrs. Linden,
Yes?
who has just come to town?
Yes, today.
I believe she's an intimate friend of yours.
Certainly, but I don't know.
I used to know her as well.
I know you did.
She told you about it. Good. I thought as much. Now, is Mrs. Linden to have a place at the bank?
How dare you catechize me in this way, Mr. Krogstad? You, a subordinate of my husband's. But since you ask, you shall know. Yes, Mrs. Linden is to be employed, and it was I who recommended her. Now you know.
And my guess was right.
You see, one has a wee bit of influence after all. It doesn't follow that one's only a woman. When people are in a subordinate position, Mr. Krogstad, they ought to really be careful how they offend anybody who...
Has influence.
Exactly.
No? Now, Mrs. Helmer, would you have the kindness as to employ your influence on my behalf?
What? How do you mean?
Or would you be so good as to see that I retain my subordinate position at the bank?
What do you mean? Who wants to take it from you?
Come, you needn't pretend ignorance. I can very well understand it couldn't be pleasant to your friend to meet me.
But
And I can understand now for whose sake I was to be hounded out.
I assure you, I have...
Oh, stop. Once for all, there is time yet. And I would advise you to use your influence to prevent it.
But Mr. Krogstad, I have no influence. Absolutely none.
None. But I thought you said a moment ago that...
Of course, not in that sense. How could you imagine that I should have such influence over my husband?
Well, I know your husband from a long time, Mrs. Helmer. I doubt he is more inflexible than other husbands.
If you talk disrespectfully of my husband, I must request you to leave.
You are bold, madam.
I am afraid of you no longer. Come New Year's Day, I'll soon be out of the whole business.
Mrs. Helmer, if need be, I shall fight for my place at the bank as though for my life.
Yes, so it seems.
It's not only the salary, of course, that is what I care least about. It's something else. Well, I'd better make a clean breast of it. I suppose you know, like everybody else, that some years ago I got into trouble.
I think I've heard something of the sort.
The matter never came into court, but from that moment forth, all paths were barred to me. I then took up the business you know about. I had to turn my hand to something, and I don't think I've been one of the worst. And I must get clear of it all. My sons are still too young, and for their sake I must seek to regain my character as quickly as possible. This job at the bank was my first step, and now your husband wants to kick me off the ladder back into the mire.
But I assure you, Mr. Krogstad, I haven't the least power in the head.
That is because you have not the will, but I can compel you.
You won't tell my husband that I owe you money.
I suppose I were to.
Well, that would be shameful of you. The secret that is my joy and my pride, that he should learn it in such an ugly, coarse way, and from you. Well, it would involve me in all sorts of unpleasantness.
Only unpleasantness.
But just do it. It's you that will come off worse, but then my husband will see what a bad man you are, and then you certainly won't keep your place.
I asked you whether there's only domestic unpleasantness you feared.
If my husband gets to know about it, of course he'll pay you off at once, and then we'll have nothing to do with you anymore.
Mrs. Helmer, if your memory is defective or you don't know much about business, it seems I must make the position a little clearer to you.
How so?
Oh, when your husband was ill, you came to me to borrow £30,000.
I knew of nobody else.
I promised to find you the money.
And you did find it.
I promised to find you the money on certain conditions. You were so taken up at the time about your husband's illness and so eager to have the wherewithal for your journey that you probably didn't give much thought to these conditions. Allow me to remind you of them. I promised to find you the amount in exchange for a note of hand, which I drew up.
Yes, and I signed it.
I had left the date quite right, but then I added a few lines, making your father security for the debt. Your father was to sign this.
Was to. He did
I
sign
had
it.
left the date blank, that is to say, your father was to date the signature himself, no?
Yes, I believe that was...
I then gave you the paper to send to your father by post, is that not correct?
Yes.
And of course you did. Within 5 or 6 days you brought me back the paper with your father's signature, and I handed you the money.
Well, have I not made my payments punctually?
Fairly, yes. But to return to the point, you were in great trouble at the time, Mrs. Helmer.
I was indeed.
Your father was very ill, I believe.
He was on his deathbed.
And died soon after.
Yes.
Mrs. Helmer, do you happen to recollect the day of your father's death? The day of the month, I mean.
Father died on the 29th of September.
Quite correct. I made inquiries, but herein lies the remarkable point, which I cannot explain.
What remarkable point? I don't
Well,
know.
the remarkable point, madam, is that your father seems to have signed this paper. That's right. 3 days after his death.
What? I don't understand.
Well, your father died on the 29th of September, but if you look here, he has dated his signature October 2nd. Is that not remarkable, Mrs. Helmer? Can you explain it? It is noteworthy, too, that the words October 2nd and the year are not in your father's handwriting, but in one which I believe I know. This, of course, may very well be explained. Your father may have forgotten to date the signature, and somebody may have added the date at random before the fact of your father's death was known. There's, of course, nothing wrong in that. It all depends on the signature. Of course, it is genuine. Is it not, Mrs. Helmer? It really was your father who signed his name here.
No, it was not. I wrote Father's name.
Are you aware, madam, that that is a dangerous admission?
How so? You'll soon get your money.
May I ask you another question? Why did you not send the paper to your father?
It was impossible. Father was ill. If I should have asked him for his signature, I should have had to tell him why I wanted the money. But he was so ill, I really couldn't tell him that my husband's life was in danger. It was impossible.
Then it would have been better to have given up your tour.
No, I couldn't do that. My husband's life depended on that journey. I couldn't give it up.
And did it never occur to you that you were playing me false?
That was nothing to me. I couldn't care in the least about you. I couldn't endure you for all the cruel difficulties you made, although you knew how ill my husband was.
Mrs. Helmer, you evidently do not realize what you were made guilty of. But I can assure you it was nothing more and nothing worse that made me an outcast from society.
You want me to believe that you did a brave thing to save your wife's life?
The law takes no account of motives.
Well, then it must be a very bad law.
Bad or not, if I produce this document in court, you will be condemned according to law.
I don't believe that. You mean to tell me that a daughter has no right to spare her dying father trouble and anxiety? That a wife has no right to save her husband's life? I don't know much about the law, but I'm sure that you'll find that somewhere or another that is allowed. And you don't know that, you a lawyer. You must be a bad one, Mr. Krogstad.
Possibly. But business, and such business as ours, I do understand. Do you believe that? Very well. Now do as you please, but this I may remind you. If I am to be flung into the gutter again, you shall keep me company.
Nonsense. He wants to frighten me, but I'm not so foolish as that. But, no, it's impossible. Why, I did it for love. Oh, you're back already?
Yes. Has anybody been here?
No.
Well, that's odd, because I just saw Krogstad leaving the house.
Did you? Oh, yes, by the by, he was here for a minute.
Nora, I can tell by your manner that he's been here begging you to put in a good word for him.
Yes.
And you to do as if it was of your own accord, and you to tell me nothing is having been here. Now, didn't he suggest that too?
Yes, Torvald.
Nora, you could condescend to that. To speak to such a man, make him a promise, and tell me an untruth about it.
Oh, no truth.
Didn't you just say that nobody had been here? My bird must never do that again. The songbird sings clear and true, no false notes. That's so, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes. I was sure of it. Now I'll say no more about it. Oh, Nora. How cosy and quiet it is here.
Torvald,
Yes?
I'm looking forward very much to this landlord's party tomorrow.
And I'm on tenterhooks to see what surprise you have in store for me.
Oh, it's too tiresome.
What is?
I can't think of anything good. Everything seems so foolish and meaningless.
Has little Nora just made that discovery?
Are you very busy, Torvald?
Well,
What papers are those?
bank business.
Already?
Yes, I've got the retiring manager planning to make some necessary changes to the staffing and the organisation. I'd like everything to be straight for the new year.
Then that's why that poor Krogstad.
Hmm?
Torvald, if you hadn't been so very busy, I could ask you for a great, great favour.
Well, what is it?
No one has such perfect taste as you. And I should so love to look well for the party tomorrow. Torvald, dear, can you take me in hand and settle what I'm to be? And arrange my costume for me?
My willful woman is at a loss and is making signals of distress.
Yes, please, Torvald. I can't get on without your help.
Well, I should think it over and I'm sure we'll soon find something.
Oh, that's so good of you. Tell me, is it anything so very dreadful that this Krogstad got into trouble about?
Forgery. Don't you know what that means?
May not he have been driven to it by me?
Or like so many others, out of pure heedlessness. I'm not so hard-hearted to condemn a man absolutely for a single fault.
No, surely not, Torvald.
Many man can retrieve his character if he owns crime and takes the punishment.
Punishment?
But Krogstad, he didn't do that. He evaded the law by means of tricks and subterfuges, and that's what is morally agreed.
Do you really think that?
Would you think how a man with that kind of thing on his conscience must be constantly lying, canting and shamming? Just think of the masterless way towards those that stand closest to him. His own wife and children. It's the effect of the children, or that's the most terrible thing about it.
Why?
When such an atmosphere of lies, home life is polluted and contaminated in every fibre, every breath the children draw contains some germ of evil.
Are you sure of that?
As a lawyer, I've seen it often enough. Almost every case of early corruption can be, well, traced to a lying mother.
Why, mothers?
It generally comes from the mother's side. Of course, the father's influence may have been the same way. Well, here's that Krogstad, who's been poisoning his children for years past with a life of lies and hypocrisy. So my little Nora must promise not to plead his case. Shake hands with it. Come. What is it? then it's a bargain. Believe me, it would be impossible for me to have worked that man. It gives me a positive sense of physical discomfort to be in contact with such people.
How warm it is here. I have so much to do.
Yes, and I must look over these bank papers before dinner. And I shall think over your costume for you too. My precious little sombrero.
Impossible. Corrupt my children. Poison my home. It's not true. It can never be true. There's somebody coming. Nobody, of course, nobody will come today. It's Sunday. But perhaps... No, nothing in the letterbox. Quite empty. Stuff and nonsense. Of course, he won't really do anything. Such a thing couldn't happen. It's impossible. Why, I have 3 little children.
I'm afraid it's very much out of order.
Oh, I wish I could tear it into 100,000 pieces.
Oh, no, it will easily be put to rights.
I shall go and get Miss Linden to help me.
Going out again? In such a weather as this? You'll catch Coleman and be ill.
Worse things might happen. What are the children doing?
Their grandparents say they're playing with their new toys. Poor little dears.
Do they often ask for me?
Well, you see, they've been so used to being with their mama all the time.
Yes, I know, Anna, but I can't have them with me so much in future.
Children get used to anything.
Do you think they do? Do you believe that they would forget their mother if she went quite away?
Quite away?
Tell me, Anna, I've so often wondered about it. How could you bring yourself to give your child up to strangers?
I had to when they came to nurse your little ones.
But how did you make your mind up to it?
And miss on a place as good as this. A poor girl who has no trouble must take what comes, and that wicked man did nothing for me.
But your daughter must have forgotten you.
Oh no, she hasn't, madam. I saw her 2 weeks ago.
Oh, dear Anna, you are a good mother.
Thanks, madam.
If my little ones had nobody else, I'm sure you would. Nonsense, nonsense. Now I must. You shall see how beautiful I shall look tonight.
I'm sure there'll be no one at the ball as beautiful as you.
Nothing would happen here in the meantime. Rubbish. Nobody's coming. Only not to think. Oh, Christina, it's you. There's nobody else there.
No. I heard you called at my lodgings.
Yes, I was just passing. There's something you must help me with. Tonight there's to be a party at the Sandborgs, and Torvald wants me to dance.
Oh, a performance!
Yes, Torvald wishes it. Look, this is the costume. He had it made for me in Italy.
But look, so you're to be in costume as well. It's a little bit out of order, isn't it? Don't worry, I can fix this for you. Leave it up to me.
Oh, thank you.
And listen, actually, I wanted to tell you, thank you so much for everything yesterday evening. Thank you.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
May I ask you, does Dr. Rank come here every day?
Every day of his life. He's been Torvald's friend for years. Oh, Dr. Rank is quite one of the family.
Is he quite a sincere man? I mean, isn't he rather given to flattering people?
No, quite the contrary. Why should you think so?
Well, it's just that when you introduced us yesterday, you mentioned that he'd heard of him several times. But then, when you mentioned me to your husband, he had no notion of who I was. How did Dr.
Oh,
Rank...
he was quite right, Christina. You see, Torvald loves me so indescribably. He wants to keep me all to himself, as he says. When we were first married, he got almost jealous if I even mentioned any of my own friends at home, so naturally I gave up doing it. But I often talk of the old times to Dr. Rank, for he likes to hear about them.
Nora, shall I tell you something? You're still a child in many ways. No, I know that I'm younger than you, but I do have more experience. You really ought to be clear of this whole business with Dr. Rank.
Get clear of what?
The whole affair, I should say. Yesterday you were mentioning a rich gentleman who went to help you find the money.
Yes, one who never existed, worse luck.
Dr. Rank has money.
Yes, he has.
No one to provide for.
Nobody, but...
And he comes here every day.
Yes, I told you so yesterday.
I should have thought he had better taste.
I don't understand you a bit.
Nora, don't pretend. Do you not suppose that I have not guessed who was it that lent you the £30,000?
Are you out of your senses? How can you think such a thing? A friend who comes here every day, well, the position would be unbearable.
Oh, so it really isn't he?
No, I assure you. It never for a moment would have occurred to me. Oh, besides that, he had nothing to land at the time. He came into his property afterwards.
Oh, well, I suppose that's best for both of you.
No, really. It would have never struck me as Dr. Rank. And yet, I'm sure that if I did...
But of course, you never would.
Of course not. It's inconceivable that it should ever be necessary. But I'm quite certain that if I spoke to Dr. Rank...
Behind your husband's back?
I must get clear of the other thing first. That's behind his back, too.
Yes, I told you so yesterday.
A man can manage his things much better than a woman.
One's own husband, yes.
Nonsense! When everything is paid, one gets back the paper.
Of course.
And can tear it into 100,000 pieces and burn it up. The nasty, filthy thing.
Nora, you're hiding something from me.
Can you see it in my face?
Something has happened since yesterday morning, and I want you to tell me what it is. But for the present, I do have to go. We'll talk soon, all right?
Christina! Don't forget the box.
Oh, yes. I'll get this sorted in a few months, and we'll talk, all right?
Nora.
Oh, how long for you to come, Torvald?
Yes, I'm just looking back.
Torvald?
Yes.
If your little squirrel were to beg you for something so pretty,
Well,
would you do it?
I must first know what it is.
Oh, your squirrel would skip about and play all sorts of tricks if you would only be so kind and nice.
Well, out with it.
Oh, your lark would twitter from morning till night.
Oh, well, that she does in any case.
Oh, I'll be an elf in the moonlight and dance for you, Torvald.
Nora, you can't possibly be what you're hinting at, yes?
Yes, yes, please, I beg and implore you.
Have you really the courage to begin that again?
Yes, for my sake, you must let Krogstad keep his place in the band.
Nora, it's Krogstad's position I intend for Mrs. Linden.
Oh, yes, that's so good of you, but instead of Krogstad, you could dismiss some other clerk.
Nora, this is incredible obstinacy, or because you thought he promised to win a good work for him.
It's not that. It's for your sake. This man writes for the most scurrilous newspapers. You said so yourself. He could do you no end of harm. I am so terribly afraid of him.
Ah, I understand. It's past recollections that are foggy. Anna! Coffee. Black, no sugar.
Of course, sir.
What do you mean?
Well, of course, it's your father, isn't it, you're thinking about?
Yes, yes, of course. Only think of the shameful slanders wicked people used to write about father. I believe they would have got him dismissed if you hadn't been sent in to look into the thing and been kind to him and helped him.
Nora, between your father and me, there's all the difference in the world. Your father wasn't altogether unimpeachable. I am, and I hope to remain so.
Oh, no one knows what wicked men may hit upon. We could live here so quietly and so happily here, in our cozy, peaceful home. You and I and the children. That's why I beg and implore you.
Nora, it's just by pleading this case, you'd make it impossible for me to keep him. It's already known in the bank that I intend to dismiss Krogstad. Now, through their reported that the new manager can be turned down his life with a finger.
What then?
Oh, nothing as long as the willful woman gets thrown away. I shall be a laughing stock amongst the whole staff. Instead, people say that I'm open to all sorts of outside influence. Take my word for it. I shall soon feel the consequences, and besides, there's one thing that makes Krogstad impossible for me to work with.
What thing?
Well, perhaps I could overlook his moral failings at a pinch.
Yes, couldn't you, Torvald?
And I hear...
Sorry, sir. Here's your coffee.
Thank you, Anna. And I hear he's good at his work. The fact of the matter is, he calls me by my Christian name, and he's tactless enough to do it even when others are present. He delights in human airs of familiarity. Torvald here, Torvald there. Believe me, it's very painful to me. It makes my position in the bank perfectly unendurable.
Surely, Torvald, you're not serious.
No, why not?
That's such a petty reason.
Petty. You consider me petty?
No, quite the contrary, Torvald.
Never mind. You call my motives petty, then I must be petty too. Very well. Should put an end to this once and for all. Anna! Take this letter.
Yes, sir.
Give it to the courier. Tell him to take the wines, address on the front, and then give some money.
You, sir.
Go.
Yes, sir.
Torvald,
Now the box and see what you want now.
what was in that letter?
Krogstad's dismissal.
Oh, call it back again, Torvald. Oh, there's still time. Call it back again. Oh, for your sake, for my sake, for the children's. Oh, do it. Do you hear? You don't know what that letter may bring upon us all.
Too late.
Yes. Too late.
Nora, I forgive your anxiety, though it's anything but flattering to me that you should suppose I'll be afraid of a wretched scrupulous spite. But I forgive you all the same. Because, of course, it's a sign of your great love for me, and that's the way it should be. Let what will happen, happen. But when it comes to the pinch, I'll have strength and courage enough. You'll see. My shoulders, they're broad enough to bear the whole burden.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the whole burden, I say.
That you shall never, never do.
Oh, very well. Then we shall share it as man and wife. And that is the way it should be. You satisfied now? Come, come, come. Don't look like a scared dove. It's all nothing. English fancies. Now, you really ought to be practicing your dance. And I'm going to go and sit by in the chamber. My rank arrives. You just turn around to me.
He would do it. Yes, he would anything other than that. Oh, or some way to escape. What shall I do?
Dr. Rank.
Good afternoon, Dr. Rank.
Good afternoon.
I knew you by your knock, but you must go to Torvald now. I believe it's busy.
And you?
Oh, you know I have always time for you.
Well, I shall avail myself of your kindness as long as I can.
What do you mean, as long as you can?
Does that frighten you?
I think it's an odd expression. Do you expect anything to happen?
Well, something I've long been prepared for, but I didn't think it would come so soon.
What have you discovered? You must tell me, Dr. Rank.
I'm running downhill, and there's no help for it.
You?
Where should it be? Why lie to oneself? I'm the most wretched of all my patients, Mrs. Helmer. You know, these last days, I've been auditing my life account. Bankrupt. Perhaps before a month is over, I shall lay rotting in the churchyard.
Oh, what an ugly way to talk.
Well, the thing itself is confoundedly ugly, you see, but the worst of it is so many other ugly things have to be gone through first. There is only one last investigation to be made, and then, when that is over, I shall know pretty certainly when the breakup will begin. There is one thing I want to say to you. Helmer's delicate nature shrinks for all there is horrible. I will not have him in my sick room.
But Dr. Rank.
I won't have him. Not on any account. I shall lock my door against him. As soon as I am quite certain of the worst, I shall send you my visiting card with a black cross on it. Then you will know that the final horror has begun.
Well, you're positively unreasonable today. And I did so hope you would be in a really good humor.
What? With that staring me in the face?
Nonsense, nonsense. Now, cheer up. I'm in such a crazy mood today.
Ah, so it seems.
Dear Dr. Rank, death shall not take you away from Torvald and me.
Oh, you'll easily get over the loss. The absents are soon forgotten.
Do you think so?
People make fresh ties.
Who makes fresh time?
You and Helmer will when I'm gone. You yourself are taking the time by the forelock, it seems to me. What was that Mrs. Linden doing here yesterday?
Oh, surely you're not jealous of poor Christina.
Yes, I am. She will be my successor in this house. When I'm out of the way, that woman will perhaps...
What? Now to be good, Dr. Rank. Tomorrow, you shall see how beautifully I shall dance. And then you may fancy that I am doing it all to please you.
Right.
And of course, Torvald. Do sit down. Let me show you something.
What is it?
Look here. Look.
Silk stocking.
Aren't they lovely?
Uh-huh.
No. You must only look at the feet. I suppose you can look at the rest too. What are you looking so critical about? Don't you think they're lovely?
Well, I can't possibly give any confident opinion on that point.
Pity.
So, what other wonders am I to see?
You shouldn't be anything more, for you don't behave nicely.
You know, when I sit here gossiping with you, I can't imagine. I simply cannot conceive what would have become of me if I had never entered this house.
Yes, I think you do feel at home with us.
Oh, yes. And now to have to leave it all.
Well, no, it's nonsense. You shan't leave us.
And not to be able to leave behind the slightest token of gratitude. Scarcely even a passing regret. Nothing. An empty place that can be filled by the first comer.
If I were to ask you for a... No.
What is it?
For a great proof of your friendship.
Well, sure.
I mean, for a very, very great service.
Would you really for once make me so happy?
Oh, you don't know what it is.
Then tell me.
No, Dr. Egg, I really can't. It's far, far too much. Not just a service, but help and advice besides.
Well, so much the better. I can't think what you can mean, but go on, don't you trust me?
Oh, as I trust no one else.
Hmm?
I know you are my best and truest friend. So I will tell you. Well then, Dr. Egg, there is something you must help me to prevent. You know, of course, how deeply and wonderfully Torvald loves me. He would never hesitate to give his very life for my sake.
Well, Nora, do you think he's the only one who would gladly give his life for you? Well, I swore you should know it before I go, and I shall never find a better opportunity. So now I told you, and now you know that you can trust me. You can trust no one else.
Let me pass, please.
Nora.
Oh, that was too bad of you, Dr. Egg.
What? That I loved you as deeply as anyone else. Was that too bad of me?
No, but that you should have told me so. It was so unnecessary.
What do you mean? Did you know? Nora, Mrs. Helmer, I ask you, did you know?
Well, how can I tell what I knew or didn't know? I really can't say. Oh, how could you be so clumsy, Dr. Rank? It was all so nice.
Well then, at any rate, now you know that I'm at your service, body and soul, so go on.
Go on, now.
Well, I beg you to tell me what you want.
I can't tell you nothing now.
You mustn't punish me like this. Let me do for you whatever a man can.
There's nothing you can do for me now. Besides, I really want no help. You shall see that it was only my fancy. Yes, of course, it must be so. You are a kind man, Dr. Rank. Aren't you ashamed of yourself?
Well, not exactly. But perhaps I ought to go for right.
No, indeed you mustn't. You must come and go as you've always done. You know Torvald can't do without you.
And you?
You know I always like to have you here.
And this is just what led me astray. You are a riddle to me. It has often seemed to me as if you like being with me almost as much as being with Helmer.
What don't you see? There are people one love, and others people like to talk to.
Well, there's something in that.
When I was a child, of course I loved Papa best. But it always delighted me to steal into the servants' room. Oh, in the first place, they never lectured me, and in second, it was such fun to hear them talk.
Fantastic. So is that place that I have taken?
No, I don't mean that, Dr. Wright. But with Torvald, it's the same as with Papa.
Yes, I understand, but...
Hello? Yes. I see. I shall call you back.
Anything wrong?
No, not in the least. It's just my costume. It will be delivered shortly.
Costume?
Yes, the one I ordered. Torvald mustn't know.
So that's the great secret.
Yes, of course.
Oh.
Just go to him. He's in his study and keep him while I...
Don't be alarmed. He shan't escape.
The dreadful thing is coming, after all. No, never. It shall never be.
Yes?
What do you want?
A little information.
Be quick. What is it then?
You know I've gotten my dismissal.
I couldn't prevent it. I fought for you to the last, but it was no use.
Does your husband care for you so little? He knows what I can bring down upon you, and yet he dares.
How could you think that I should tell him?
As a matter of fact, I didn't think it. It wasn't like my friend Torvald Helmer to show such courage.
Mr. Krogstad, do be good enough to speak respectfully of my husband.
Oh, certainly. With all due respect. But since you're so anxious to keep the matter a secret, I suppose you're a little clearer than yesterday as to what you've done.
Clearer than you could ever make me.
Yes, such a bad lawyer as I.
What is it you want?
I need to see how you're getting on, Mrs. Helmer. I've been thinking about you all day. You've been a mere moneylender, gossip journalist, in short, a creature such as I has a little bit of what people call feeling.
Then show it. Think of my little children.
Did you and your husband think of mine? But enough of that. I only came to tell you this. You needn't take the matter too seriously. I should not lodge any information for the present.
Oh, surely not. I knew you wouldn't.
The whole thing can be settled quite amicably. Nobody need know. It can remain among us three.
My husband must never know.
How can you prevent it? Can you pay off the balance?
No, not at once.
Have you means of raising the money in the next few days?
None that I will make use of.
Even if you did, it wouldn't help you now. If you would ever offer me so much money down, you would not get back your IOU.
Tell me what you want to do with it.
I only mean to keep it, to have it in my possession, so if you should have any desperate scheme in your head,
What if I have?
if you should think of leaving your husband and children,
What if I do?
or you should think of something worse.
How do you know about that?
Put all that out of your head.
How did you know what I had in my mind?
Everyone thinks of it at first. I did too, but I hadn't the courage.
Nor I.
Nobody does. You haven't the courage either, have you?
I haven't. I haven't.
Besides, what will be the point? Just one domestic storm and it's all over. I have a letter here for your husband.
No, my husband must never read that letter. Tear it out. I will find the money somehow.
But even some, but I believe I told you that...
I'm not talking about the money that I owe you. I mean, tell me what you demand from my husband and I will get it.
I demand no money from your husband.
What do you demand then?
I'll tell you. I want to regain my footing in the world. I want to rise, and your husband should help me do it. For the last 18 months, my record has been spotless. I've been a bit in need all the time, yet I was content to fight my way up step by step. Now I can thrust down again. But I would not be satisfied by really being reinstated as a matter of grace. I want to rise, I tell you. Should get into the back again. In a higher position than before. Your husband should put a place on purpose for me.
He will never do that.
Oh, he will do it. I know him. He won't dare show fight. And when he and I are together there, oh, you shall soon see. Before a year is out, I will be the manager's right hand. It won't be Torvald, Helmer, but Nils Krogstad that manages the joint stock back.
That shall never be.
Perhaps you will.
Now I have the courage for it.
Oh, you don't frighten me. A sensitive, petted creature like you.
You shall see. You shall see.
Into the ice, perhaps. Down into the cold, black water. And next spring to come up again. Ugly, hairless, unrecognizable.
You can't terrify me.
Nor you me. People don't do that sort of thing, Mrs. Helmer. Besides, what will be the point? I have a husband in my pocket all the same.
Afterwards, when I am no longer...
You forget. Your reputation remains in my hands. Well, now you're prepared. Do nothing foolish. When Helmer receives my letter, I shall expect to hear from him. I remember that it is your husband himself who has put me back again into such paths that I will never forgive him. Goodbye, Mrs. Helmer.
He's going. Oh, he's not putting the letter into the box. No, that would be impossible. What's that? He's standing still, is he? The box. There it lies. Torvald. Torvald. No, we are lost.
What's the matter?
Come over here, Christina. You see that letterbox through the window?
Yes, I see it.
There's a letter from Krogstad in there.
Nora, was it Krogstad that lent you the money?
Yes. Oh, and now Torvald will know everything.
Well, I think that's the best for both of you, dear.
You don't know all yet. I have forged a name.
Goodness gracious, Nora!
Now, listen to me, Christina. You shall bear me witness.
Bear you witness, what am I to do?
If I were to go out of my mind, it might easily happen.
Nora.
Or if anything else should happen to me so that I can be here.
Nora, you're quite beside yourself.
In case anybody should take it upon himself, the whole blame, do you understand?
I understand, but how can you think?
You shall bear me witness that it's not true, Christina. I am not out of my mind at all. I know quite well what I'm saying, and I tell you nobody else knew anything about it. I did the whole thing out myself. Remember that.
I will remember. But I don't understand.
How could you? It's the miracle coming to pass.
The miracle?
Yes, the miracle. But it's so terrible, Christina. It mustn't happen for all the world.
I'll tell you what. I'll go to Krogstad. I'll speak to him.
Don't! He'll do you some harm.
There was once he would have done anything for me.
He?
Yes. Have you his address and number? Write me down. His address and number. Why? He lives quite close to here.
Yes, but it's no use now. I've lost the letters in the box.
Your husband has the key?
Always.
He must demand the letter back. He must find some pretext, demand it back on red. He must find that pretext.
But now is the time Torvald generally opens the box.
Then keep him. Prevent him. Keep him occupied. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Torvald?
Well, maybe I'll come into one red room again, love. Come round, take a look. What's this?
What, Torvald dear?
Rank led me to believe there'd be a grand transformation.
So I understood, but I suppose I was mistaken.
No, but no one is deceiving my glory until tonight. And you, my dear Torvald, mustn't think of anything but me. You mustn't open a single letter and mustn't look in the letterbox.
Nora. Are you still afraid of that man?
Yes, I am.
I can tell. By your face. Is there a letter in the box?
I believe so. I don't know. But you're not to read anything now. Nothing ugly must come between us until all is over.
And you mustn't contradict her.
She will have her own way, but tonight, when the party's over.
Then you shall be free.
Is there nothing in the wind?
Nothing of the sort, it's just this childish anxiety I was telling you about. Nora, I'm giving Rank a home. I'll be back in time for dinner.
did you ask me to come here?
I cannot see you in my rooms. Come in. We're quite alone. The servants are asleep and the Helmers are at a party.
The Helmers are having fun this evening. Really?
Yes. Why not?
Quite right. Why not?
And now, let's talk a little.
Have you anything to say to each other?
A great deal.
I shouldn't have thought so.
Because you never really understood me.
What was there to understand? The most natural thing in the world, a heartless woman throws a man over when a better match offers.
You ought not to forget that I had a sick mother and 2 little brothers to think of. Do you think that I broke it to you lightly?
Did you not?
Do you really think so?
Not then why did you write me that letter?
And was it not the right thing to do since I had to break with you? Was it not right I tried to end all you felt for me?
So that was it. And all this for the sake of money.
Again, you ought not to forget that I had a sick mother and 2 little brothers to think of. We could not wait for you then, as your prospects stood near.
Perhaps not, but you have no right to cast me off for the sake of others, whoever the others might be.
I don't know. I've often asked myself if I have the right to.
When I lost you, I felt as if I had no firm ground left under my feet. Look at me now, I'm a shipwrecked man clinging to a spar.
Rescue may be at hand.
Was at hand, but then you came and stood in the way.
Without my knowledge, Nils. I didn't know until today that it was you I was to replace at the bank.
Well, I take your word for it, but now that you do know, do you mean to give way?
No, that would not help you in the least.
Oh, help. Help. I should do it whether or not.
I have learned prudence. Life and bitter necessity have schooled me.
Life has taught me not to trust fine speeches.
Then life has taught you a sensible thing. But deeds, you will not trust.
What do you mean?
You said you were a shipwrecked man clinging to a spar.
I have good reason to say so.
I too am shipwrecked and clinging to a spar. I've no one cared for, no one to mourn for.
You made your choice.
No choice was left to me.
Well, what then?
What if we 2 shipwrecked people were to join hands?
What?
2 on a raft have a better chance of surviving than each clings to a separate spar.
Christina, what do you mean?
What do you think brought me to town?
Did you any thought of me?
I must have work or I can't bear to live. Nils, all my life work has been my one greatest joy. And now, I stand all alone in the world, helpless and forlorn. There is no joy in working for oneself. Give me something, someone to work for.
No. I cannot believe in all this. This is simply a woman's romantic craving for self-sacrifice.
Nils, have you ever found me romantic?
Do you really? Tell me, do you know all my past?
Did you not just say that for me you could have been a better man?
I'm sure of it.
Is it too late?
Christina, do you know what you're doing? Yes, you do. I can see it in your eyes. If you have the courage, then.
I need someone to be a mother to. And your children, they need a mother. I need you. And you need me. I believe in your better self, and with you, I fear nothing.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you. I shall work to make others see me as you do. But I forgot.
Yes, I must go. As soon as the party's over, they will be back.
Yes, I sure at once. Of course you don't know the step I've taken against the Helmers.
Yes, I do know.
Yet you have the courage to.
I know to what lengths despair can drive a man.
If only I could undo it.
You still could. The letter still in
sure?
Yes, but...
So that was it? You mean to save your friend at any price? Say it out, is that your idea?
Nils. A woman who has once sold herself out for the sake of others does not do so again.
Should the mom have her back again?
No.
Yes, well, of course, I should go and see Helmer at once. Say that I don't want the letter read and it's about my dismissal.
No. Don't recall the letter.
I don't understand, isn't that why you're here?
It was my first alarm. But I have seen incredible things in this house. Helmer must know everything. These two must come to a full understanding. They must be done with these shifts and subterfuges.
Well, very well, if you want to take the risk, but there's one thing I can do, and quickly.
Yes, you must go quickly. We're not safe here a moment longer.
Should wait for you in the streets?
Yes. You must see me home.
I've never been so happy in all my life.
What a change! A home, a family, someone to work for, to make happy. Oh, but if I should fail, that wouldn't be my fault. I do wish they'd hurry up and come back.
Dearest Nora, I've spoken to him, Mr. Krogstad. Nora, you must tell your husband everything. I promise you, you have nothing to fear from Krogstad, but you must speak out. If you don't, then the letter will. There must come an end to this unhappy secret for both of you. Don't be obstinate anymore. And do so hope it all goes well tonight. From your dearest friend, Christina Linden.
Not a bit. In fact, I've been particularly lively.
Oh, that's very, very tired. I shall soon sleep now.
Oh, there, you see, I was right after all, not allowing to stay any longer.
Everything you do is right.
Now my little life is talking like a reasonable being. Did you notice how jolly rank was this evening?
Was he? I had no chance of speaking to him.
Nor I much. I haven't seen him such high spirits for a long time. How splendid it is to be in our home. Quite alone with you. You enchanting creature.
You mustn't look in that way at me, Torvald.
Am I not allowed to look at my most precious possession? All the loveliness that is mine, my only, wholly and entirely mine.
You mustn't say these things to me this evening.
See, you still have the music in your blood, and that makes you all more entitled to me. Nora, do you know, when we were among strangers, why I talk to you to them, why I stay so far away from you, and when you catch an occasional glance here every now and then, do you know what that is? Fancying that we are secretly in love with each other, and I'm secretly betrothed to you, and no one can imagine that. There's nothing between us.
Yes, I know all your thoughts are with me.
And when the time comes to go, I take the shawl, and I put it around your smooth, soft shoulders, with this glorious neck of yours. Imagine that you're my bride, we are just married, and for the first time, I'm taking you home with me. You're alone together for the first time, quite alone. Me and you, your trembling loveliness. And seeing you, she was looking for. You, and only you. And I was watching you swaying and swirling on the dance floor. You made my blood boil. Endure it no longer. That is why I made you come home with me. So early.
Stop that! I won't have all this.
What do you mean? I understand. You're teasing me, Nora. You're teasing me. Won't indeed. Come here. Now, tell me. Am I your husband?
Did you hear? It's Dr. Rank.
Dr. Rank, good of you to look in on us.
This dear old place, and how cozy you two are here.
Are you alright?
Oh, exceedingly wonderful party. Why not? Why shouldn't one take one share of everything in this world? All one can, at least, and as long as one can. Helmer, the wine was splendid.
Especially the champagne.
Did you notice it? It's incredible the quantity I contrived to get down.
Torvald drank plenty of champagne too.
Did it?
Yes, and it always puts him in such spirits.
Well, why shouldn't one have a jolly evening after a well-spent day?
Well spent, but not much to boast of in that respect.
But I have, can't you see?
I suppose you have been engaged in a scientific investigation, Dr. Rank.
Quite right.
Dear me. Nora, talk about scientific investigations.
Am I to congratulate you on the result?
By all means.
It was good then?
The best possible, both for the doctor and the patient. Certainty.
Certainty.
Yes, absolute certainty. Wasn't I right to enjoy myself after that?
Yes, quite right, Dr. Rank.
And so say I, as long as you don't have to pay for it tomorrow.
In this life, nothing is to be had for nothing.
Oh, Dr. Rank, I'm sure you are very fond of masquerade.
Ah, yes, especially when there's plenty of amusing disguises.
Who tell me, Dr. Rank, what we shall to be at our next masquerade?
February. Like next week.
We too. I'll tell you. You Must go as a good fairy.
Now, Dr. Rank, tell me, what costume would you think about?
She has simply to wear her everyday dress.
Captain, now, tell me, have not thought about it yourself?
Oh, my dear friend.
Well,
I am perfectly clear on that point.
what is it?
At the next masquerade, I shall be invisible.
Ha! What a comical idea.
There is a big black hat. Haven't you heard of the hat of invisibility? It comes down all over you. And then, no one can see.
No, you're right there.
But I'm quite forgetting what I came for. Helmer, give me a cigar. One of your dark.
My great pleasure.
Thanks.
Let me give you a light.
1,000 thanks. And now, my dear friend, goodbye.
Really?
Yes.
It's time to go. Okay. You're okay?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Sleep well, Dr. Rank.
Thanks for the wish.
Wish me the same.
Well, since you asked, sleep well and thanks for the light.
Well, he seems to have drunk right through life.
I dare say. Torvald, what are you doing?
I'm just going for the letters to see how they've accumulated. What's this? From Dr. Rank.
From Dr. Rank?
Yes, they're on top. He must have just left them.
Is there anything on them?
Black cross for his name. It looks almost as if he was announcing his own death.
Yes, so he is.
What? Do you know something? Did he tell you something?
Yes. These cards mean that he has taken his last leave of us. He's going to shut himself up and die.
Poor fellow. Crawl into his leg like a wounded animal.
When one must go, it is best to go silently. Don't you think so, Torvald?
Yet so grown into our lives, I cannot realise that he has gone. He and his suffering and his loneliness seem to form a kind of cloudy background to sunshine. Full of eyes. Maybe it's best as it is. And for him at any rate, and maybe for us too, Nora, for now. For now, we can fall entirely upon each other. And my dear wife, sometimes I feel I cannot hold you close enough. Another time, Nora. I wish some disaster may fall on you that I can risk body and soul and everything else for your dear sake.
Now, Torvald, you shall read your letters.
No, not tonight, sweet wife. I want to be with you.
With the thought of your dying friend.
You're right. This is shaking both of us. And loveliness has come between us, thoughts of death and decay. We must seek to cast them off. And until then, you're right. We will remain apart.
Never to see him again. Never. Never. Never.
answer! Do you understand it?
Yes, now I fully begin to understand it.
But not for Leigh. During these past 8 years, she has been my pride and my joy. A hypocrite! A liar! Worse, a criminal! Oh, I ought to have known how it would be. I ought to have foreseen it. Before your father's one of principle. Be silent! Or your father's one of principle, you have inherited the religion. No sense of duty. No morality. Oh, how I have been punished for screening him. I did it all for your sake, and you reward me like this.
Yes, like this.
You have destroyed my whole happiness. You have ruined my future. Oh, it's frightful to think of that I'm the power of a scoundrel. He can do what he pleases with me, demand whatever he chooses. He can domineer over me. As long as he likes, and I must submit. And all this disaster and ruin has been brought over me by an unprincipled woman.
When I am out of the world, you shall be free.
No fine phrases your father too is always ready with those. What good would it do me if you were out of the world, as you say? No good whatever. He can still publish the story all the same. I may be able to give a conclusion. People will say that I was behind it all and egg you on. For this is what you think. You have done nothing but pet and spoil during our whole married life. Do you understand now what you have done to me?
Yes.
The thing is so incredible. I can't grasp it. But me and you must come to some kind of understanding. Sit down. And cover yourself up. You must try to pacify it one way or another. This whole matter must be hushed up, cost what it may. As for me and you, there can be no outward change to our way of life. No outward change, you understand. You will still continue to live here, but the children, they can no longer be in your care. I daren't entrust them to you. How to say that? It's the one I love so tenderly. Who am I still? But henceforth, that must be a thing of the past. From now on, there can be no question of happiness. Just of really saving the ruins, the shreds, the shop. God! What's that? Can it be the worst? Really? Can it? Yes! It was him. I saw him. It's for you. You shall have it. I shall not. Though if I may encourage you, we may both be lost. Both you and I. But I must. Nora, let's read it again. It is so. It is so. I'm saved, Nora. I'm saved.
And I?
Yes, you too, of course. We are both saved. Look, he sent back your promissory note, and he writes, and he regrets, and he apologized, and how happy he made in his life. Oh, no matter what he writes, Nora, we are saved. No one can hurt you now. first to get rid of this hateful thing. Professor must look. From now on, it'll be just a dream to me. There, see? It's gone. All done. Oh, Nora. It must have been two terrible days for you.
I have fought a hard fight these last 2 days.
And in your agony, you saw Nora for hours, but we won't think those for us now. We'll just rejoice and repeat. It's all over. All over. What's wrong? You don't seem to have grasped it. What's this sad look upon your face? Really? It's all over, Nora, all over. I understand. You cannot believe that I have forgiven Nora, but I have. I swear I have forgiven you. I've forgiven you everything. I know what you did. It's all for love of me.
That is true.
You love me like a wife should love her husband. It's only the means in your inexperience that you misjudge. You think I'd love you nevertheless because you cannot do bad things? Well, of course not. Lean on me. I will cancel you. I'd be no true man if your very womanly helplessness did not make you dumb indeed in my eyes. So don't dwell upon the hard things I said. In the first moment of terror, when the world seemed to be tumbling around my ears, Nora, I forgive you, Nora. I swear I've forgiven you.
I thank you for your forgiveness.
No, stay where you're going.
To change my dress.
Yes, do dear. Try and calm yourself down and gain your balance, my scared little songbird. But rest assured, my wings are broad enough to shield you. Oh, how lovely, how cosy you are, Miss Nora. Here you are safe, here I'll shelter you like the hunted dove I saved from the claws of the hawk. I will soon calm your poor beating heart, Nora, very soon I will. I promise. Tomorrow everything will be different. Everything will be just as it was before. There will be no need for me to tell you I've forgiven you, Nora. You'll feel for yourself that it is true. How can you think I could find it in my heart to even drive you away from here or to reproach you? You don't know a true man's heart, Nora. There is something inexplicably sweet and soothing to a man of having forgiven his wife, to have honestly forgiven her from the bottom of his heart. She becomes, well, it's possession in a double sense. She is as if reborn. As if, so to say, both his wife and his child. And henceforth, that is what you'll be to me, my poor bewildered darling. So don't be troubled by anything, Nora. Just open your heart to me, and I'll be both well and conscious. What's this? Not on the bed? Changed.
Yes, now, Torvald, I have changed.
Why not so late?
I shall not sleep tonight.
Nora.
It's not so late yet. Sit down. You and I have much to say to each other.
What does this mean? Your content face.
Sit down. It'll take some time. There is much that I have to talk over with you.
You love me, I don't understand you.
No. You don't understand me. And I've never understood you till tonight. But no, don't interrupt. Only listen to what I say. We must come to a final settlement, Torvald.
How do you mean?
Does not one thing strike you as you sit here?
What should strike you?
We have been married 8 years. Does it not strike you that this is the first time that we two, you and I, man and wife, have talked together seriously?
Seriously? What do you call seriously?
After 8 years and more, ever since the day we first met, we have never exchanged one serious word about serious things.
So it's to trouble you with the case you can help expect.
I'm not talking of cares. I say that we have never yet set ourselves to seriously get to the bottom of anything.
Auntie Nora, really, what have you to do with serious things?
Oh, there we have it. You have never understood me. I have had great injustice done me, Torvald. First by father, and then by you.
What? By your father and by me? Us, who have loved you more than all the world?
You have never loved me. You only thought it amusing to be in love with me.
What a thing to say.
Yes, it is so, Torvald. When I was a child, at home, father used to tell me all his opinions, and I held the same opinions. If I had others, I said nothing about them because he would not have liked it. He used to call me his doll child, and he used to play with me like I played with my dolls. And then I came to live in your house. And
What expressions you use about marriage?
I mean, I passed from father's hands into yours. You arranged everything according to your taste. And I got the same taste as you. Or at least I pretended to. I don't know which. Both ways, perhaps. Sometimes one, sometimes the other. When I look back on it now, it seems as though I've been living here like a beggar from hand to mouth. I lived here by performing tricks for you, Torvald. But you would have it so. You and father have done me a great wrong. It is your fault that my life has come to nothing.
Well, Nora, how unreasonable and how ungrateful you are. Have you not been happy here?
No, never. I thought I was, but I never was.
Not happy?
No, only married. And you've always been so kind to me, but this house has been nothing but a playroom. Here, I have been your doll wife, just as at home I used to be Papa's doll child. And the children, in their turn, have been my dolls. I thought it fun when you played with me, Torvald. That has been our marriage.
Nora, there is some truth in what you say. Exaggerate strain though be. Look, from henceforth things we do. Playtime is over, now comes time for education.
Whose education? Mine or the children?
Why, both of them.
Oh, Torvald, you're not the man to teach me how to be a fit wife for you.
You can say that.
And have I prepared myself to educate the children?
Nora.
Did you not just say a few minutes ago that you dare not trust them to me?
In the excitement of the moment. Why should you dwell upon that?
No, you are perfectly right. That problem is beyond me. But there is another that must be solved first. I must try to educate myself. And you're not the man to help me in that. I must set about it alone. And that is why I am leaving you.
What? Do you mean to say?
I must know myself and my surroundings. If I'm ever... I must stand quite alone. If I must know my surroundings, I cannot stay here with you.
Nora. Madness it is.
I'm going at once. I dare say Christina will take me in for tonight.
You're mad. I won't allow it. I forbid it.
It's no use you forbidding me anything now. I will take with me what belongs to me. From you, I will accept nothing, either now or afterwards.
Craziness!
Tomorrow I shall go home. I mean, to what was my home. It will be easier for me to find an opening there.
Oh, your planned experience!
I must try to gain experience, Torvald.
Not to forsake your home, your husband and your children. You don't consider what the world will say.
I can pay no heed to that. I only know that I must do it.
Monstrous. How can you forsake the wholeness of your duties in this way?
What do you consider my holiest duties?
Must I tell you that? Your duties to your husband and your children.
I have other duties equally sacred.
Impossible. Duties, you mean?
My duties towards myself.
Before all else, Your wife and a mother.
That I no longer believe. I believe that before all else, I am a human being, just as much as you are. Or at least that I should try to become one. I know that most people agree with you, Torvald, and that they say so in books. But henceforth, I can't be satisfied with what most people say or what is in books. I must try to get things clear, figure them out.
Are you not clear about your position in your own home? Have you not an infallible guide in questions like these? Have you no religion?
Oh, Torvald, I don't really know what religion is.
No. What do you mean?
I only know what Pastor Hansen told me when I was confirmed. He explained to me that religion was this and that. When I get away from all this and stand quite alone, I will look into that matter too. I will see whether what he taught me is right, or at any rate, whether it is right for me.
This is unheard of in a woman so young. If religion cannot do right, then let me appeal to your conscience, for I presume you have some moral feelings, or answer me, perhaps you have none.
Well, Torvald, I really don't know. I'm all at sea about these things. I only know that I think about them very differently from you. I hear too that the laws are quite different from what I thought. But I can't believe that they can be right. It appears that a woman has no right to spare her dying father or to save her husband's life. I don't believe that.
You speak like a silly child. You don't understand the society in which you live.
No, I do not. But now I must try to learn. I must make up my mind which is right, society or I.
You are ill. You are feverish. Perhaps you think around your senses.
I've never felt so much clearness and certainty as tonight.
Clear and certain enough to forsake your husband and your children.
Yes, I am.
Then there can be only one explanation possible.
And what is that?
You no longer love me.
No, that's just it.
Nora. Can you say so?
I'm so sorry, Paolo. For you've always been so kind to me, but I can't help it. I do not love you any longer.
Are you clear and certain on this point too?
Yes, quite. And that is why I will not stay here any longer.
But Nora! Where? I don't understand it. Please. What can you explain to me, please? Tell me, how have I fulfilled your love?
It was this evening, when the miracle did not happen, but then I saw that you were not the man I had imagined.
Explain yourself to me more clearly. Nora, please, I don't understand.
I have been waiting so patiently all these 8 years. But then I saw clearly that miracles don't happen every day. When this crushing blow threatened me, I said to myself so confidently, now comes the miracle. When Krogstad's letter lay in the box, it never for a moment occurred to me that you would think of submitting to that man's condition. I thought you were going to tell him, make it known to all the world, and that then you...
What? Expect to give up my own wife's name to disgrace and shame?
That I firmly believe that you would come forward and take it all upon yourself and say, I am the guilty one. What do you mean I would have never accepted such a sacrifice? No, certainly not. But what would my assertions have been in opposition to yours? That's the miracle I had hoped for and dreaded. And it was to hinder that I wanted to die.
day and night. Best star and one for your sake, but no man sacrifices honour, even for the one he loves.
Millions of women have done so.
You think and talk like a sea child.
Very likely. But you neither think nor talk like the man I could share my life with. When your terror was over, not for what threatened me, but for yourself. When there was nothing more to fear, it was as though nothing had happened for you. I was your lark, your doll again, whom you would take twice as much care of in the future because she was so weak and fragile. Torvald, in that moment it burst upon me that I had been living here these 8 years with a strange man, and that I had borne him 3 children. Oh, I can't bear to think of it. I could tear myself to pieces.
Nora. Nora. I see. And the business don't come between us, but tell me, kind of have you filled up?
As I now am, I am no wife for you.
Not the strength, but not the strength of another man.
Perhaps when your doll is taken away from you.
It's part of you. I can't grasp the thought of this.
The more reason for the thing to happen.
But not today. Now, wait till tomorrow.
I can't spend the night in a strange man's house.
Then come and live together as brother and sister.
You know very well that wouldn't last long. Goodbye, Torvald. Anna knows about everything in the house better than I do. And the children, they're in better hands than mine. I can be nothing to them.
Sometime.
How can I tell? I have no idea what will become of me.
You're my wife. Now and always.
Listen, Torvald. When a wife is leaving her husband's house, as I am doing, I hear that in the eyes of the law, he is released from all duties towards her. At any rate, I release you from all duties. You mustn't feel yourself bound any more than I shall. There must be perfect freedom between us. There. I give you back your ring. Now give me mine.
That too.
That too.
Here it is.
Very well, it is all over now. Christina will come to pack up the things when I have started tomorrow. I will have them sent after me.
Nora. You never think of me again.
Oh, of course I shall often think of you and the children in this house.
Can I write you?
No, never, you must not.
I must help you if you need it.
No, nothing.
Well, I must help you if you want something.
No, I say. I take nothing from strangers.
Nora. You think of me as nothing but a stranger.
Well then, the miracles of miracles would have to happen.
Sorry, miracles.
Both of us would have to change so that... Oh, Torvald, I no longer believe in miracles.
Leigh, tell me, we must have changed.
That communion between us shall be a true marriage. Goodbye.
Nora! Nora! Empty. Miracle of miracles!